Hello. Hello, welcome to Animal Audit Corner. Today, you know it, we're in my kitchen. Today, I would be making roasted Brussels sprouts and vegetable classic soup. But you know what? We're somewhat done. Christmas, Thanksgiving, and New Year's Eve is totally out the door now until next year when we run into a problem with eating too much. And that includes the sweet tooth. And and today we're gonna somewhat detox when I'll be cooking vegetable recipes, except I have this leftover pasta that I'm going to use for the soup. We're going to be also be making vegetable. We're going to be making vegetable soup as well today. Of course, I just mentioned it. Yeah, holidays are done and over with, and we want to lose those extra pounds that we put on. So let's just, those of you who are on a diet or watching what we eat, it's more like in a balanced sort of way, meaning you can't deprive yourself. Of course not. We did it during the holidays. But we're going to make all vegetables today. Am I going to have making any sweets? No, of course not, because guess what? We are going to get back on that horse and start eating a little bit more healthier, which I already did. But the problem is with me, I don't know portion control. And those of you who are like me, you get the idea. We know how to eat healthier, but we just can't. We don't know portion control. So that's what we're going to do today. And you know, you're out of the cult. You got your aids from the NJR Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation. You got all your necessities in one, including the roof over your head. That's the most important part that you will have. But guess what? You're going to have to do all your own cooking because nobody's doing it for you. Or if you escape with your family, mother, father, kids, everyone, you're going to have to learn to cook for them. So here we are. So let's just start. Now we're going to start with our roasted vegetables. Okay, so now we're going to cut these into two. Cut off the tip. And then after you cut the tip off, cut them in half. Alrighty. Of course, this doesn't have a tip, so. All right, no tip. So usually it calls for fresh ones, but if you have frozen ones, it should do well. But defrost it in the microwave. So cut it in half. This is already trimmed and into small pieces. And this particular Brussels sprout was for the microwave, but guess what? I need to use it. So, all right. hopefully it won't turn into mush in the oven. Okay. Oops. I forgot to wash it. Okay. Okay, and to wash this, even though it might already be washed, but I gotta get rid of the ice too. Oops. All right. Did that. Now we're gonna cut each and every one. I'm gonna cut as many as I can at one time. All right. This one has to come off. And when you put them in the oven, you have them face down, but of course these are small, so I'm not going to be able to tell. So, all right. Okay, now, early on today on Aaron Short, he was on an iPod show, and it was Richard Lorenzo's Jr.'s show. It looks like it's a podcast show, and I think he might be some kind of entertainer too of some kind. But yeah, he was in disbelief when he found out what Scientology actually worships. He was just like, oh my God, these people. Of course, Aaron did describe what they worship. And of course, David Miscavige don't like that because, secret's out and now I can't use it to blackmail people anymore. So that's out the window, but I gotta keep them in anyway. But yeah. So he was on his show describing what was going on. Okay, and Janice Gillum Grady is now gonna have new grandchildren coming into the new year, and it's one of each. So congratulations to her and her family, especially the moms. Yeah. You know what? Children are its blessings in the world. And they're the greatest gifts that the earth and God can ever give. And these Scientology parents, some of them are just horrible, but the ones who want to get out, great. Okay. And yeah, let's see. What else did I do? Okay, I'm in the midst of getting one of my projects done for the SPTV Foundation. What am I going to do? You know what? I'm going to go to the library. I'm not going to give you full details because you know what's going to happen, of course. And of course, William Good he is still going at it. Good for him. Good for you, William. And I was going over each and every footage to see if I can make the top 10 videos in the anti-Scientology world. And yeah, this means views. 2024. And it might, I've been on it for about a year now. Well, I had my show since March 11th, and then a month and a half into my stream, of course, I keep talking about it. Yeah, I got hacked. But today I made a huge mistake. When I had the Monday at the coffee house clip, I wasn't aware what I was doing. I just walked in to the coffee house. They were playing music. I forgot what music it was, and that was a copyright strike. Now, I didn't go into it willingly. It was just there. If I thought of it at the time, I probably would have told them to turn it down. So, but yeah. Creators, make sure you either go up, if you had no tendency to walk in and it's not Scientology, just go up to the coffee person and ask him to turn it down a bit, because tell them that it can't interfere with you recording a YouTube live or video. If it's live, that's another thing. So YouTube creators, make sure you have them turn it down, because if you turn it down, there's not going to be much on it. It's just going to be lowered, and I don't think the music will be picked up at all. Just tell them just to have it enough to actually make sure the sound doesn't pick up on your YouTube channel. Right now, I am going to reply. I told them everything. I told them, you know what? I had no tendency to actually get it air. I accidentally walked into it, and then once I knew it, that was it. They said they're going to take me out of the fold for the monetary, but guess what? I am going to take it off the table now. And our parents told never to use something unless you ask for permission. So I took it off the table completely. I admit, even though I accidentally walked into it and didn't give much thought, I was taken off. So just be aware of these things, because they are copyrighted issues. And maybe I think it's within 1 year you can apply again. But I completely took it off the table. And so I'm going to contact them again. Is it outside interference? It could be that. I'll find out soon enough. So that's right, Osa. You're watching me, I'm watching you. All right. But they're going to claim that I'm exploiting them. Well, what are you doing, Scientology? You are exploiting your employment. You give them slave labor, slave wages, hours of work, and top it off to add insult to injury. You have them volunteering. That is the most dishonest thing anyone can do. But you know what? Yeah. Don't make any claims that people are exploiting you when you're doing it. And guess what? All the people who wrote books on you are entitled because you took their lives away from them. So I would say to those book writers, journalists, yeah, guess what? I say go ahead right away because guess what? Scientology, you exploited people, not the other way around. No one's exploiting you. You're exploiting people. The people that you have working for you for slave wages. And you brainwashed them into it. But guess what? The ones who are out figured it out. You stole their lives away from them. Osa, David Miscavige, Tom Cruise. Even though they didn't give much thought to it, and you're the movie star, you're slave labor. You're a master. You're a modern day slave owner. You also do good work. And you're a brilliant actor. But you exploit your household staff. So either stop being best friends with that little guy you call the best friend, or walk away from it completely and you'll be fine coming out of your brainwashing. But you know what? They're treating you like a king. And at the same time, I know you're not going to walk away. Hey, you got it that good. And they're not making you follow the rules. So, yeah, why should you? But you have to realize that you exploiting people. So, and it's not the other way around either. And forget what David's telling you. But you don't want to, so that's your problem. Eventually, you're going to have side effects from that. And since you're in the purification program, you're going to get cancer. And when you get it, it's from what Scientology is telling you, because that high dose of niacin that's in your food is causing it. Even though, yes, it's in our foods, but that's a chemical substance and it can hurt people, but no one gives much thought to it. But you have high doses of it and you sit in a sauna. That's going to affect you big time, and don't say it won't. And that killed people. Look what happened to Kirstie Alley. She didn't want to think of it at the time, but she died in results to that. And I'm not saying it to be cruel. John Travolta and Tom Cruise, that's what happened. And no, I am not exploiting her death. I'm just pointing out to you that she died in results of that purification rundown. In my family, one of them, nurse, is going to confirm it. But I'm not going to say who it is. Forget it. All right. All right. So please look into your heart and not the brainwashing. And realize all this is wrong. All right. And everybody, keep writing those books because you're entitled. You need to be compensated for what Scientology and NOSA did to you. All right. Hopefully Janet Whelan will come out, which I doubt because she's being stubborn. But Janet Whelan, come out of the brainwashing, even though you probably got it good too, but who knows? All right. Okay. And let's see. Oh, Jessica Palmadessa has nothing to do with Scientology, but she went through a vacant home that was damaged. You know, that has nothing to do with Scientology, but yeah, she mostly talks about Scientology. And okay. And some of these guys, I haven't seen in a while because either it's buried or, well, it went back to black. So we're going to make sure that the subscribed is on. So, but if it's X'd out and you didn't do it, yeah, exactly. So make sure your subscribe message is on, and press and just ring that bell to any of the anti-Scientology channels. And no, don't go by what Scientology says. You're not a hateful person. They are. And they're accusing other people of hate messages. But guess what? You're not hateful. Okay. Yeah, next time I'm going to use fresh one. So, all righty. Yeah, since this is frozen and not fresh, I needed to use it, so. Okay. So far, Scientology doesn't know where I live. I'm going to keep it that way. So, I say as long as they don't show up at my doorstep, I don't care. But because guess what? I know I mentioned this several times, and I always mean it. Computers, laptops, and Chromebooks are just material items. They can't replace a life. So, And Chris was beaten up twice and nearly got ran over by a car. Or was it Chris without a Hellcat? Although they kept picking on Confident Chris more than they picked on Chris without a Hellcat. Yeah, these are. Yeah, I better use these because we don't want to waste the earth or whatever. Okay. All right. Now. All right, we got those Brussels sprouts cut up, and it's supposed to be roasted, but I think it's probably going to turn into mush. So, okay. But I needed to use these, so. And then we're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, but I'm not going to use olive oil. I'm just going to use the olive oil spray so it doesn't stick. Then, if I can't, maybe I'll just dazzle in a little olive oil. All right. Okay. And then, this is optional. You want to add salt, go ahead. But if you can't add salt and you saw a doctor and said to cut out salt, cut out salt. And then 1/4 black pepper. So that's what I'm going to put. Black pepper. Grab all this out. Okay. 1/4 pepper. So we're going to use the pepper. Of course, this is. All right. So we're going to use the pepper. All right. There we go. You know what? Let me get a spoon because I need something to mix it with. All right. Each and every time, just mix it up. Just a little bit. And then once you get all the ingredients together, mix it up all together and then, put it in. And then 5.5 teaspoons of minced garlic. So we're going to take that 5.5 and mix it. Yeah, I use a lot of the garlic, so every time there's a garlic recipe, I have to use it. Two, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, I'm hoping this would be okay. But let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to use the 5 because I still want the taste to be there. So that should do it. Here's the garlic. Yeah, I just love the smell of garlic. I can't get enough of it. I always have to smell that fresh smell of garlic. Yeah, I know that sounds weird, but it's, yeah. Okay, 2.5 teaspoons of balsamic vinegar. The tablespoon balsamic vinegar. Okay. All right. And gradually sprinkle it on. Okay, and the half. All right, I'll just put it in there. All right, and I'm going to use the half. Okay, there we go. So mix it up. Make sure it's on each and every one. Okay. But yeah, make sure it's actually fresh. All right. It's looking okay so far. And the vinegar smell is just coming out really well. And of course, you all know Ice to C33 is getting chemo treatment. So please go on to her channel, or if she has an email for you to send her to, send her your well wishes and wish her a speedy recovery. So yeah, that's what I want to do. If I can find it, I should just contact her and tell her. All right, there. All right. Let's see. And of course, you know, the oven's on 450. Okay, gotta put this back on. Okay. All right, now we're gonna take our cooking spray. Well, I didn't find it necessary to put olive oil in this since I'm using olive oil based spray. So we're gonna spray this up. Okay, there we go. That should be about a tablespoon, or maybe a little. Okay. And then take it, sprinkle it, and turn it on its face. The cut end down. Don't make a project out of it. And yeah, I gotta use my proper English on it. So on YouTube. Alrighty. Face down. Okay. All right, these are face down. All right, here we go, face down. Keep on, okay, well, what can you do? Keep on putting these face down because these have to be roasted. But if you still have, if yours is fresh, more power to you. But mine came out of the freezer and I needed to use it. But if you have some that's in your freezer and you need to use it, go ahead and use it because you can't waste. And it looks like I wasted one of my mixed vegetables in its original form, which is in big clumps. So I'm not going to get it anymore unless it's broccoli. All right. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to keep turning these over. Okay. Yes, we're live. This ain't a recording, it is live. What else is going on in the news? Okay, let's see. Yes. Let's see. Has it Julby? It's some show that compares cults to one another, or compares two parties together. And they had one on the gay community and Christianity, and the other on the cults. And the ones on the cults, I actually saw Prostate Alex and Chris Shelton. Okay, I almost forgot. And they were comparing notes, which is such an interesting show. And of course, couldn't get to it. Now, it can be anything. It can be anywhere from me to the Android or Scientology, because guess what? I know what they're capable of. They did it to me once before. So, okay. Face down. All of them face down so they can be roasted. Push some aside so you can have more room to actually put on. Oh, I wish you can smell these. You can just smell the balsamic vinegar come out. Of course, I don't think you have to put salt in it, because I think it already has salt. Okay, let's see. Okay, I guess not. Yeah, I guess it's not in there. I don't know. But usually, by nature, it probably already has sodium in it. So, okay, here we go. Alrighty. Turn him all over on its face. Now, got a little more left, so I'm just going to use the spoon. Okay. Now, I hope you watched my top 10 videos that I made. Now, I'm going to try and get you top 10 or top 5 of the most watched anti-Scientology videos. I'm going to see. So, but if it changes, then you'll know on a day. So, yeah, okay. And I am going to bring you Scientology versus the Mafia as soon as I can. Because, of course, as you all know, I'm not getting paid for this. So I had to cut back on the hours that I was actually doing all my lives, because I was so exhausted and stressed. And since I have mental illness, I don't respond to stress very well because of it. So I had to cut back on that. So, and guess what? It looks like you can't get onto the anti-Scientology on X site because Scientology's willingly is deleting it on you. It's going to delete it on you. So get in touch with them and tell them to just stop doing it. If you don't have any problems, more power to you. But so far, they're going to do that to everybody. Okay, but yeah. And they also have an Android, so because it keeps saying the same exact thing every time. I understand your concern. I understand your it really sounds like I was talking to the AI in the past because it's given the same statement. So it looks like you're going to have to email them and tell them that. I did try several times. So now, Fluffer Squirrel might have been in Scientology. I think she might have been. I don't know. But I don't really watch a show, really, because I don't really look for it. Am I bitter about her? To be honest, I'm trying not to be. I'm also giving her the benefit of the doubt. So, and do I hate her? No. I don't know her very well to make that determination. So, usually I'm not the type that hates people. I love people. They get on my last nerves or do something wrong, then yes, I can be your worst enemy too. But I don't know if it's like William Goods, because yeah, you don't want him as your worst enemy. Of course, with my mental illness, I can't tell, because usually I don't notice whether or not I'm yelling. So people who have mental illness don't really notice that they're actually doing something wrong. And people who just got out of the cult don't realize that they're going at the same pattern and it's making them look bad. We all have to be understanding about that, including me. No exceptions. So yeah, well, and so far, I think Natalie in Maryland is doing a good job, and so is Janice Gillen Grady, Mark Fisher, and John Atack. Yeah, hopefully they're not judging every single religion out there. I think every one of them is a cult. Of course, you know that the Christianity's churches are closing down big time because of their low attendance. All the secrets came on YouTube. Now, and it's because throughout the years, the church has been changing the rules. They might think they're not. Of course, some of them are not aware that it's happening. Okay. So, and the ones giving the sermon sometimes don't want to do anything new. Usually these things are choreographed. Can I prove that my church is doing it? No. Because guess what? I love my people. I love my church. Okay. And the Armenian church is my salvation and my socialization. And that's why I go on occasions. Okay. Yeah. And I'm going to try and do a segment on a young woman who's actually lashing out of hateful or witches, all witches. She thinks the Christian witches, and of course, other people think that Christian witches are up to no good. But you know what? You don't know that. Okay? Get to know the person first before making a conclusion about anything. But yeah, I'm going to pull it together, see what I can come up with. Although I agree, some of them are questionable because there's dark magic too. So that's they work off of negativity, while white magic uses positive outcomes to everything. So as long as you don't hurt anyone, you are fine. Okay. So, is it really scraped clean? No. Oh, if my mother can see me now, let me get a spoon. And then scrape it all off. All right. So I will do a reaction video on it, but I'm not going to mention any names because it's going to give away the plot. And I want to stay as calm as possible because of my mental illness. Okay. And the other reason why the churches decline is because some of them do not understand mental health. And okay. All right. So now we're going to put this in the oven and let it cook for about 15 minutes. No, 10 minutes. Grab it out, mix it up, and then put it in for another 5 minutes. 5 to 7 minutes. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. There. All right. So now we're going to make our soup. Put this in the sink. All right. You know what? I'm going to put this in with the soup because I'm going to practice what I preach. So, all right. So I have to scrape it clean. So why not? It's vegetable soup. So, all right, there we go. All right. So now we're going to make our soup. So let's just rinse off the cutting board. All right, the vegetable soup. Here it is. Okay. All right. Okay, first, you need to chop up 2 onions. Okay. Okay, chop up 2 onions. So let me get the onion. Now, about the segment told you I was going to have. Now, I don't know this young woman directly. Maybe she's responding out of it. Maybe she shouldn't, but yeah, at the same time, you're going to have to understand her. The people who practice the dark arts are fearful, but she has nothing to fear with people who practice the art of white magic. So okay, I'm going to clarify that. That's why I just brought it up again. Okay. Peel this onion. Oops. All right, there we go. All righty. Okay, now I am going to pull it together. I don't know when, but yeah, I'm going to do it as calm as possible because let me throw these away. Yeah, I need to get a new trash once again because my trash is coming apart. The top just broke off, and I'm like, oh no. I just got that a couple of years back, and it just broke. Or maybe last year, something like that. It just broke. I couldn't believe it. Okay. All righty. Now, I'm going to plug this in. Okay, there we go. Plugged it in. All right, now I'm going to cut off both ends since I'm going to actually put it in the food processor. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to put it on each side. And this will chop it pretty much so you don't have to worry about a tear coming out of your eye, although it might a little bit since you are cutting a little. All right, there we go. Put it in. Now we're going to put the top back. Okay, there we go. And they are in pieces. So I'm going to unplug this. Okay, oh my gosh. I am in tears a little bit. So. And there it is. The chopped up onions. So we're going to throw these in there. Oh man. I should have waited to actually. Now I'm going to take a spoon and pour them all in here. Oh my goodness. Now, the food processor does the job really well. And I'm going to see if I can get them as my affiliates. So, 1 year from now, I'm going to see what I can do to see if I can get my monetization back and avoid all coffee houses or places where it actually has music. Okay. All right. All righty. Okay. All right. Here we go. You talking to me? All right. All righty. All right. There we go. We got the onions in there. All right. The next one. This is the vegetable noodle soup. Okay, the onions are chopped up, and we're going to have a handful of carrots put in. So let's get out a handful of carrots. Now, I got big hands, so don't be surprised if mine is actually big. Okay. Yeah, that should be enough. It looks like maybe a cup and a half worth. Okay. So there we go. Back in the refrigerator. So I'm going to use everything. Okay. All right. It usually calls for fettuccine, but if you got leftover pasta, use it. Why not? So now we're going to take these carrots and slice them into halves. Okay. All righty. Oops. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use everything. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to get in touch with one of the Boston crew to see what I can do about getting them on the show for collaborations. So, yes, I am working very hard, and I'm trying not to kill myself while I do it, which is the reason why I reduced all my hours from 7 days a week to about 3 or 4 days a week. So far, I'm relaxed. And I'm not actually killing myself trying to get back. So I am actually going to Okay. Of course, I want to use one big carrot, but no, usually I love baby carrots, so I'm using baby carrots. So if you have a big carrot, use about 2 of them and cut them up. And okay. You know what? I should have cut these in half too, but you know what? It's okay. Okay. Don't really. Okay. Maybe I'll just. Yeah, I'll have these carrots another day. I'm not a real. I don't really eat my carrots cooked, but if you like it cooked, go ahead. Okay. All righty. Now, I'm going to grab these out and then just mix it up. Well, all right. Well, I'm going to put these in for 5 more minutes. Oops. All right. Then put them back into the oven. Okay. All right. Now, put it back in for 5 more minutes. Hopefully, I won't. Okay. So it'll be 5 more minutes. Well, yeah. Okay. All right. Now we chopped up the broccoli 14. You know what? Kind of get the broccoli out of the bag because guess what? I can't get it apart and it's really frozen together. So that might not be well. So it might be an indication that it's spoiled since it's like clumped together. So I guess that's a reason to toss it. I'll ask my sister-in-law later. Okay. And then your zucchini. So we're going to toss in my zucchinis. I'm going to use these. Let me see here. Yeah, these are fine. So put these in. Now, if you had it if you have your zucchini from a previous time, use it. If it's not bad, use it. Because we want to preserve this earth. And I'm going to practice what I'm going to preach, so I'm going to set a good example. I mean, guess what? You don't have to be a YouTuber or a creator to actually set an example. You can do it right now with your kids, your friends. It can be almost anyone. All right. There we go. So I'm leaving this spoon out. I never should have tossed my spoon in. So, and that's another thing. If you got to save water too. So I'm going to actually try and not use so many dishes. Okay. Got the zucchinis in there. Okay. All right. 5.5 cups of broth. Let's see if I could. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. She'll be coming around the mountain when she goes. They'll be coming around the mountain when she goes. They'll be coming around the mountain. They'll be coming around the mountain. They'll be coming around the mountain when they come. All right. Okay. I have it on live chat, but nobody's coming on. But all right. All right. All righty. Okay, December 4th. Okay. This still has a good year, so. Okay. Yeah. All right, that's 5 cups right there. All right. Okay. Mine's a vegetarian broth. So. All right. So, you know what? I'm going to pour the rest in here. Since it's called, since it's called soup, I'm just going to pour it in. Even though it says 5.5 cups. And plus, I'm going to cut up the tomatoes. And this time, I'm just going to use a plate. So, okay. Now, maybe I need to, it's such a big pot, but let me put just a little bit more in. Okay. Okay, then that should do it. Okay. I added more because it's called soup for a reason, and I got more than I imagined it'll be. So use like a regular pot of some kind, but I'm putting everything in since it needed to be used. So, okay. All right, let's see. We're going to need 1 bay leaf. There it is. Drop it in. Oh, I like this one. Well, what can you do? All right, so we're going to put this back. Oh, can't have this burn. So, okay. Put this back. Put this aside. Now we're going to stir this up. Now, it calls for fettuccine, but I use those rounder. I'm using this one instead. So, because I needed to use it. All right. Stir this up. All right. One big and diced tomatoes. So I'm going to get rid of this. And I want to make sure all my juices stay on my plate. I rinse these out ahead of time, and I need to use each and every tomato there is. So, I already washed this out. Okay. I'm going to take out the stem. Okay, there we go. All right, so cut this up. Now, use one huge can of chopped up tomatoes. But if you already have tomatoes in your kitchen, use it. Because nowadays, you know, they prove that cans can cause cancer. So. Alrighty. So. Alrighty. Okay. What else is up with me? Now. Okay. Alrighty. Now as you know, I finally got my internet connection back, and it's so great. All right. All right. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay, I'm trying to think what else I can talk about. Okay. All right. On Monday, it's going to be so nice. So I'm definitely going to go to the library then. Chop up the tomatoes. Okay. I'm going to chop up the big ones first. This should equal up to one big hand. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Okay. Oh, sorry about the dead silence, everybody. Okay. All right, there we go. All the chopped up tomatoes. Whatever tomatoes you have, use it. If you feel it's been in there too long, use it. If it's moldy, put it in a food compactor, or if you don't have one, just throw it away. Don't keep it. If it's a lost cause, no, toss it. That's what I'm saying. And about the earth, I'm sorry. These foods putting holes in the ozone layer, everyone contributed, including me. Everyone. There's no exceptions to the rules. Everyone contributed. And now it's going to go as a rule. Cannot use it, and it's not worth saving. Toss it in a food compactor or throw it away. So, all right. Okay. And the mega churches are gone. They're going to disappear. And the first one that started was Jim Baker. He made it into a theme-like park. Made money off of it. Is it right? I don't know. But if he considered and put it into the church, I wouldn't. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. If he put it into church, I wouldn't have thought much about it, but he actually had a house, a huge mansion. So I don't think so. All right. But he's doing exactly what Miscavige is doing it. Spending it on a mansion, cars. Okay. Not acceptable. But you know what? Money doesn't really solve problems. And of course, you know, David Miscavige thinks the only way you can make problems disappear is by throwing money at it. No. The only way you can make it disappear is if you fess up to what you're doing is wrong. Then it'll be solved. But you cannot throw money at problems. Okay. Okay. All righty. Okay. All righty. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Oh boy. Sorry about that dead air again. Okay, there we go. We're gonna put that right in. Looks like it's gonna be a big pot of soup because I'm putting everything in there. So, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Okay, let me grab it out. Okay, there it is. It's definitely roasted. So, I didn't think I was gonna pull it out, but I did. Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to finish cutting these tomatoes up. Now, you also know I did other stories on other cults like Jehovah's Witnesses, the Rembrandt Church. I hope I said it right. And her son actually came out and said he unfolded because he admitted it was a cult. And his younger sister is actually contributed in it. She just looks more worse than her mother. She is just, she just looks so bad. She looks like a porcelain doll on steroids, and she's just so thin. She's like boned. She's all bony. It looks like she's all bony. And she totally looks horrible. Okay. Get much of this off as I can. Yes, it's just awful, yeah. So I diced up these tomatoes. And I'm going to actually one day make Armenian soup, which is made with cabbage. So I wouldn't eat cabbage if it's white, but guess what? If it's red, I'll eat it. So, okay, here we go. I hope I don't put any more broth in it, but it looks like I have to. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Chop this up. And how long has it been? Oh, it's been an hour and 24 minutes. How do you like that, people? So, okay. Oh, boy. What else did I run into? Now, when I do that show on the reaction video on the religion thing, I'm not going to cram it down your throat. I promise. Usually I do not do religion, usually, but on time to time, I hope to actually help resolve. Well, actually, no, I don't. But if it's an improvement of some kind, maybe, but I'm not going to shove religion down anyone's throat, so don't worry. Because people see God differently than another person. And that's why the church is just dwindling fast in numbers. So, okay. Okay, so I'm not going to cram it down your throat. Since I look at God one way, and I guess the church looks at it another, because a lot of the scripture has been messed with. People were taking it out. So, yeah, for years we've known about this, and then the recent secrets that they been using pagan decorations for Christmas, Easter. Yeah. So that's one of the other reasons why their numbers are dwindling. But yeah, I'm not going to bring religion up as much since I don't want to cram religion down anyone's throat. Okay. But the 2 books that have been written that's been taken out is, I think it's, geez, I have to look it up. So, all right, my last one. Okay. And then I think I have I think there was this one guy called Moss or something, but he has his own YouTube channel who he also experienced religious trauma when he was a Christian. So I'm sorry that happened to him. So I think the church should consider maybe that's the problem too. Maybe we're unconsciously traumatizing somebody without meaning to. So, okay. And then I think this is the way I look at God. God made us to be vegetarians. That's what I think. Vegetarians, vegan. Okay. Because for milk, they usually pull a baby cow away from its mother, the calf away from its mother. It's not a very good situation that happens to the mother, to any mother. Okay. All right, that should do it. All righty. And that means we have gotten to the end of this show. So I'm going to have my roasted Brussels sprouts. And then I guess I'll have my soup later. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is looking good. I'll put a little more in. Because I put everything in there, so. Okay. Put it on. Okay. Low to medium heat. Maybe I will put a little salt in there, see. Okay. Chop, chop, chop. Okay. All right. If you want to put a little salt in there, put about maybe 1 teaspoon. But if your doctor suggested not to use salt, don't. Okay. All right. I'll finish this off. It's such a big pot, and I put everything in there. because I needed to use every single thing. This goes in the sink, so. Okay. Now we're going to turn the heat on. Where's here it is. Oh, I forgot. Well, it's in there, so I forgot the celery. So use 3 stalks of celery. This is already washed. But again, if you don't have, jeez, I almost forgot to put the celery in. No, I already threw it in the sink. I'm not going to grab it out now. Okay, so this I use. Okay, this I'll toss. Okay. Showed a little discoloration, so I tossed it. So I'm going to use the leaves. So far as I know, I washed it, but let me wash it again just in case. Alrighty. Okay. I washed these too. Alrighty. Okay, I'll just toss these in there. Now, yeah. Okay. 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 Let's see here. Cut off the dirt or wash it off. Let me wash this off because I'd rather practice when I breathe. Okay. So we get. All right, there we go. Toss this in. Okay. Yeah. All right, here we go. I'm going to chop this up. I almost forgot to put it in. How do you like that? So we're going to chop these up and then stick it in the soup. It's a huge pot of soup. I think it might serve about 15 to 20 servings, I think. I think it's 15 servings. Maybe it might be more than that. Okay. Me, I don't know my number, so don't take me at my word. All right. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh, jeez. I just cut my nail so. All right. All right, now we're going to toss these in right in. All righty, and there we go. There we go. So cook this for about, let's see here. Okie doke. All righty. All right, there. Now, Sorry about the dead silence, everybody. So, all right, that should do it for today. All righty. So tomorrow I'm going to bring you a brunch recipe. Now, oh, where is it? Did I? No, I did. Okay, yeah, I put it all in there. Well, okay. So, I'm going to close this up and we're going to put it on medium to high heat. So, turn off the oven. Of course, this is the end of this show. I'll be back tomorrow with a great brunch recipe. So, you know the routine. Buy me a coffee or use PayPal. If you have a hard time using have a hard time using the buy me a coffee, you can contribute through my PayPal. So okay, so but if you cannot pay for it, I understand, because I'm there. I'm low income. I sympathize, so don't bother. Don't pay a dime. Okay, and don't forget to hit the like, press subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10.